Welcome back, guys, to another video brought to you by your one and only literary pharaoh. This morning on my way to work, I left a message about dreaming. I played a song by Carl Thomas called Dreamer to get into the message. The message wasn't very long, but I think it was one of the most important messages that I've had on my channel. And sometimes less is more. I didn't really need to talk. I wasn't really long-winded on that message. And I'm starting to understand the brain patterns of the modern human, right? We don't have the capacity to have the endurance or the time to sit through long messages unless the message is something that we are really, really into. And because I don't have a huge platform on my YouTube channel, and you guys aren't going to sit through a 30, 45 minute, an hour discussion. It's not even a discussion, or an hour monologue, right? You guys aren't going to sit down for that, and I don't expect you guys to do that anyway. But most of the times when I do go long-winded, it's done because I'm just doing it for selfish purposes. I'm not thinking about increasing subscriptions on my channel. I'm just doing it because that's what I feel like doing. And if anybody cares to listen to me for that long, then that's great. And if people don't listen, that's also great. It doesn't move me either way. But that message was important about dreaming. Go look at that message. It's called Dream Big, Don't Let the World Take Away Your Inner Child. And I think that somewhere along the line we've lost that ability to dream, whether it's metaphorically having big dreams or big goals or big aspirations, or whether it's literally dreaming. Because sometimes the way you perceive your reality impacts your sleep and impacts your dreams. And if you're not having dreams or lucid dreams, it means that your sleep isn't really good. Your deep REM sleep allows you to have lucid dreams. And if you're eating healthy and thinking the right things, and you're operating on a good level in terms of operating using your right side of your brain, which incorporates creativity and imagination. If you're not using that and you're all left brain functioning because you're all logical, then you sort of can hamper or hinder or handicap your ability to have those sort of lucid dreams. And of course, diet is always part of it, right? If you're eating horrible foods or eating meats that are of animals that were slaughtered in fear, that was slaughtered in stress, if you're consuming stressful meat, which is flesh, then you're gonna automatically imbibe that emotion. You're gonna take in that emotion. It's gonna be part of your psychological makeup as well. So I'm not surprised that many Americans are depressed, because a lot of people are eating depressed food. You're eating foods of animals that were depressed, whether it was chickens who were raised horribly in cages and treated horribly. You're ingesting their emotions. You don't have to believe me. There's science behind this that backs me up. And I'm not a scientist. I don't have a white coat. I'm not a white guy with blonde hair, blue eyes. So you guys aren't going to listen to me because of my skin complexion. You're going to probably just judge. But you should go look it up yourself about the connection between the way animals are treated and slaughtered, and how that impacts the psychological makeup and impacts the emotional state of the human beings that continually consume those types of meats or those types of flesh that have been found to be in those, less pristine conditions, if I can say that. So with that being said, what brings me up to this video is just to talk to you guys about choices that you're making in life. And you're either making choices to destroy you, or you're making choices to elevate you. But your choices are not predicated in terms of good or bad. It's not the way you judge a good or a bad choice is not always predicated on the outcome of the choice that you made. So I'll give you an example. If you make the right choice, you can sometimes have bad outcomes when you make the right choice. And there are times where you can make the wrong choice and have good outcomes. The outcome is not necessarily the determining factor of whether the choice is good or bad. The choice is good or bad if it aligns with whatever goals or aspirations that you have. So I'll go. Let me give you an example. If you're trying to lose weight, eating a cookie, eating a chocolate chip cookie, or going through a box of Oreos is not a good idea, right? You may think it's a good choice because of the taste, right? But it doesn't align with your goal. If your goal is to lose weight, you're not going to consume that type of food. That's number one. So let me go to another example. Let's say you make a good choice and you say, you know what, I'm going to stay on the food thing here, just to make it very simple. I don't want to complicate the example that I'm trying to give you. So let's say you decide to say, you know what, I'm not going to eat the Oreo. I'm going to get vegetables. I'm going to get some whole foods. I'm going to get some good fats. I'm going to incorporate fruits and vegetables in my diet. If I do snack, I'm going to snack on something, on fruit. Fruit is protected. Is protected by the fiber, because the sugar that you're getting from these other products, they don't have the fiber to protect you, so your glycemic index spikes. So when you're eating fruit, you have the skin of the fruit that acts as a protective layer or protective agent to protect you from what comes with sugar. Sugar comes with the potential to cause a lot of damage if you're eating that consistently. So let's say you make a good choice and you say, I'm not going to eat the sugary processed snacks or processed sugars. I'm going to eat fruit for a snack. I'm going to eat an apple. I'm going to eat some grapes, right? Or a plum, whatever. I'm going to eat fruit. I'm going to snack on fruit for my snack. That's a good choice, but your outcome is going to be good, but in the moment when you're doing it, you may not like it. So you may think in your head that it's a bad choice because it's not something you're used to. So if you're used to eating junk, if you're used to going to Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, Whataburger, drinking Cokes, eating at Popeye's Chicken, going out to restaurants and eating foods, or going to these restaurants that are considered vegan and healthy, you don't know what they're cooking your foods with. You don't know what type of oils they're using. You don't know how they're preparing your food. It's best that you cook your own foods at home, or try to eat foods that don't require cooking. Eat a lot of nuts. I'm serious, guys. Eat a lot of almonds, eat a lot of nuts. I know some people tell me, oh man, you eat like a bird. I don't eat like a bird. I eat like a human. I don't know where we get this idea that we need a large bowl and a large plate full of food and we need to eat like 3 times a day. We're eating too damn much as human beings, and that's why 70% of Americans are obese. That's disgusting. You don't see attractive people. The only attractive people you see are young people. That's it. When I say young, I mean extremely young, because that's when you have your beauty and your youth. Or if you're a young man, that's where you're at your peak. You're handsome. Once men start to get in their 30s and women start to get in their 30s, it's so that's why you see a lot of older men targeting younger women. It's because the older women don't look good. I'm just gonna be blunt. They don't look good. You can go to the gym all you want. It's not gonna reconfigure your shape. What's gonna reconfigure your shape is your relationship with food. If your relationship with food is not good, and if your relationship with food is toxic, then the outcome of your body will be toxic. So a lot of the times when you're trying to switch and do something different and you make a good choice, you're not going to feel like you're making a good choice. But I'm here to tell you, I don't give a damn about how you feel. I'm more interested in the outcome of the chemical or the ingredient from the edible that you have just consumed. So if you eat an apple is much healthier than you eating a cookie or cookies. If you want to feel full, eat the apple with the skin. Eat 2 apples and drink water. You'll feel just fine. You'll be amazed at what our body is lacking. Our body isn't lacking food. Our body is lacking minerals. That's why you have people who take vitamins, and when you're lacking vital minerals, that's where you get the term vitamins from. So when you satiate your cells and you provide your cells with the accurate ingredients that it needs from a molecular level, and your cells feel good, then once your cells feel good and your cells are satiated, you're good. The connection, the synaptic response in the brain that functions with your hormones, leptin and ghrelin, are now at ease. They have a good relationship with each other. It's not incongruous, because a lot of the times you have leptin and ghrelin who have there's mixed signals. The hunger hormone, which is leptin, and the ghrelin hormone, which is the hormone that's supposed to tell you that you're satiated. Well, I think I may have it back, but I think the ghrelin hormone is the hunger hormone, and the leptin hormone is the one that tells you if you're satiated or not. But suffice it to say that if you have both of those hormones that are not working together in a balanced way, then you're always gonna feel like you're freaking hungry, because most of the foods you're eating are empty caloric foods. Empty caloric foods means that you're getting a lot of calories, but the minerals from the calories are empty. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna feel like you're full because your stomach is bigger, but the sensation to eat again will come up in the next hour or two. And then let's not forget the fact that they also put chemicals in these foods to make you addicted to them. So that's why I hate when people use the word, oh, you could just eat it in moderation. No, you don't eat poisons or eat anything that can cause addictions in moderation. You stay the freak away from it. As far away from it as possible. You stay away from it. Okay? So, making good choices is not always easy. Making good choices is not going to make you feel good initially, especially if you're coming off of habits that have been formed over years where you've consistently made bad choices. So when you're starting to make good choices, the good choices are going to feel bad, and the bad choices are going to feel good. That's a clear symptom of a person that has an inverted or a reversed mindset, a mindset that's reversed. You're looking at good as bad, and you're looking at bad as good. So you have to reciprocate that and put that back on its right, on its correct or accurate plane, or accurate quadrant, or accurate spectrum, right? So when you're operating on a logical spectrum, it's much easier to actually accept, all right, the good choices that you're making, because you know that you have to make the sacrifice. The symptoms that you get later from making the good choices are going to vindicate you, because when you start losing the weight, having more energy, feeling better, and you're not dependent upon prescription or pills to lower my cholesterol or lower this heart medication, this and that. Like, do you really think that the pharmaceutical industry gives a damn about your health? It's always been about money from the get-go. And you guys know this. I'm preaching to the choir. If this is some sort of revelatory news to you, then you've been under a rock for a very long time. So what America does is essentially feed you poisons intentionally to get you sick, to get you to run to the doctor, to stay hooked on the meds, and then you go back eating the same toxic foods. You go back to the doctor to get the meds. The meds are not supposed to cure you. The meds are supposed to just stabilize you while you're still sick within. See, just because you don't show symptoms of dis-ease within your body or within your biochemistry, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're fine. Actually, I would argue and say that if you're showing symptoms, it's your body giving you warning signs that there's something wrong, which speaks to a body that's functioning accurately, which speaks to a healthy body that's screaming for help, I might add. But just because you're sick doesn't mean you're a sickly person, you're unhealthy. There are many people walking around today who don't have any symptoms. But if you cut them open or take their blood and do their blood work, or look within and open them up and look within, they're diseased. They're diseased. And we wonder why many of our children with the skin complexion like mine are being diagnosed with ADHD and this and that and this and that. It's the foods. Everything is in the foods. It has nothing to do with generational curses and all that BS that you guys believe in. Or if I just pray it away. You're not praying anything away. You are what you eat. Because the Bible talks about how it's not what goes into a man's mouth or something that corrupts him, it was what comes out. But I'm here to tell you that is what goes inside of you that corrupts you. Because what goes inside of you actually ends up coming out as well. So what comes out is what dictates your corruption or lack of corruption. But what goes in is the agent, that's where it's conceived from what you put in. When you put toxic filth inside your body, it's just a matter of time till your body starts to excrete those toxins. It's going to show. So, guys, make good choices. Make good choices. All right? Make good choices. There's no excuse. Make good choices. There's too much information on the internet. Too much information. Now, if you don't care to make good choices and you just want to continue to eat the way you eat and do what you do, don't exercise, don't do any of that, then that's fine. If you make that choice, then you have to be able to live with the consequences. Don't complain about your health. Don't talk about how you don't like your weight. Don't talk about how you don't fit in those jeans you used to fit into. Ladies, don't talk about, oh, I have too much belly fat or I have too much back fat. Don't complain. If you're going to continue doing what the F you're doing, then don't complain about your body. And don't get jealous at the young girl that you work with that has a slim figure, because you can have that too. You're just choosing not to do that because you're not making right choices. And it doesn't mean you have to kill yourself. It just means making better decisions. Yeah, you're gonna have to give up what you're used. You're gonna have to give up what you like. Since when have we come to, like, I don't know, maybe my brain operates differently from a lot of people. When I find out that something's bad for me, I don't care how good it is, I stop. It's that simple. Now you may say, well, literary pharaoh, maybe your health is just really important to you. Health should be important to everybody. Why shouldn't it be? Are we just animals that we just consume till we die? There's no moment to pause and think, to have a rational thought process to say, okay, what am I eating? What am I putting inside my mouth? Everybody knows how I am. My wife, my kids, my mom. I'm from Nigeria. Nigerians, they eat a lot of starchy foods and salty foods. You know, I've heard it to the high heavens of my mom talking to me about, you're not eating this. You don't eat this. You're starving yourself to death. Oh, you don't eat. Eat. Why do you eat so weird? I'm like, no, Mom, I don't eat weird. Y'all eat weird. But she's starting to see, after years of badgering me about the way I eat, she's starting to see, like, my son's right. Yeah, Mom, I'm not going to make a decision off of a whim. I'm going to research everything I do. I'm just here to motivate you to make the right choice. I'm not a doctor. I'm not here to give you any health advice. I'm not a trainer. I could train people in terms of, like, physical exercise training. I could do that. I work out a lot. People think that I'm a trainer, but I'm not. Dude, OMAD. It's called OMAD. O-1-M meal A-D, day, OMAD. 1 meal a day, folks. Try it. And if you can't do 1 meal a day, do 2 meals a day. Small portions, folks. Train your stomach to shrink. Because I tell you what, if there was no more food in this world, it would take you a long time to starve to death. But no one's telling you to starve to death. We're just telling you to decrease the amount of food you eat and be selective about what you put into your mouth. Stop going to Popeye's Chicken. Stop going to Whataburger. Stop going to Chick-fil-A. Stop drinking that coffee with all that sugar in it. Stop drinking Coke. Since I'm talking to my people. When I say my people, people that have the skin melanin content like mine. Our people love Cokes. I'm about to go get my Coke. I need a Coke. I need a Coke. I need my coffee. They could barely breathe. They could barely walk. You've eaten more than me. I'm not even talking about people who are obese. I'm talking about just average people that I work with. They've eaten more than me. You would swear that they're supposed to have more energy, right? Because that's the thinking. That's the way we've been wired. We've been wired to say that when you eat food for energy, right? Yeah, you eat food for energy. What we're eating isn't food. We're eating toxic filth. We're putting bad chemicals in our body that drains our energy, that hampers our mitochondria. Okay? So we're eating harmful foods, which causes us to be more lethargic. Then we get into this cycle of, I need coffee to get more energy, but I thought you just ate. Why is it me who I haven't drank any coffee? You would think that I'm supposed to be weak and tired because I woke up. I'm the one waking up in the morning working out, so I'm supposed to be the one that's tired. I haven't eaten anything, so I'm supposed to be the one that's, oh, I'm tired, I'm tired, I can't wait to go home, I'm tired. I should be that way, but I'm not. And it's not just me. Speak to anybody that does one meal a day, and they'll tell you how much energy they have, because the body is put in a perpetual cycle of what's called survival mode. And when your body stays in survival mode, you're functioning at your optimal state. When you eat a lot of foods, your body has to produce enzymes to break down the foods. And when your body produces enzyme, it drains you of energy and it puts the energy back into the foods to break it down. But if you don't have anything to break down, then you're functioning ketosis. Your brain is using those ketones, is operating off those ketones. That's why the ketogenic diet is a very good is a good diet that a lot of people go to. High protein, good fats from avocados, baked chicken, fish. And I can't stress it. Eat nuts, almonds, hazelnuts, Brazilian nuts, cashews. Yeah, it's gonna cause you to take a dump. It's gonna flush you out. My mother-in-law, she saw me eating a lot of nuts and grapes, so she tried to do the same thing. She told me, she said, hey man, how do you eat so much of that and not have diarrhea? I said, well, my body's used to it. You know, in my head, I didn't say this to her, but in my head, I was like, well, if you have a lot of filth in your gut, when you eat the right foods, it's gonna help excrete the negative foods, the negative toxic stuff. So diarrhea is not necessarily a bad thing. Diarrhea is actually your gut cleansing itself to get rid of all the filth. All right? So make the good choices, folks. It's not that easy. It's not that hard. It's actually easy. Once you do it studies show that if you've tried something new for 7 consecutive days, it becomes a habit. So just commit to do something for 7 days and tell me how you feel after that. Then if you feel like SHIT, then quit. Go back to your gluttonous and fat diet and go back to eating like a slop and go back to being obese or go back to being out of shape or go back to being sickly. But if you try those habits, if you make those good choices in 7 days, and I'm not going to tell you what to eat. I just gave you some examples. The reason why I want you guys to do it yourselves is because when you do it yourself, there's more buy-in. When you take the time to research things, that means that you're intentional. I'm not going to give you anything. Go research stuff, man. Go find things out. Find a gym. Go for a walk. Like, get creative. Make it your own. Be a god, man. You're a god. You're a generator. You are an organizer. You are a dispenser of your own reality. So be a god that you are. And create your realm. Okay? All right. Thank you guys for listening. Until next time. Peace.